Hello everybody, I am Rajiv Sharma and I will be teaching reasoning and mental ability. Reasoning or mental ability as is a very unique subject which is not taught in any school or college level, but it assumes a lot of importance when it comes to any entrance exam. Entrance exams such as NTSC, IIT, JEE, NEET, SAT, BBA, BBS, Hotel Management, there's so many numerous entrance exams which are there. Or even after graduation, like bank POs and SSC, there are again so many entrance exams lined up. In all these entrance exams, reasoning has a prime importance. This subject is also important because it is unbiased. By unbiased, I simply mean that it is not favoring any subject. Any student who is good at English or let us say sciences, it is not going to favor them or be a hindrance to them. The questions are very easy, very simple, everybody can answer, but it might consume a much more time than what is actually required. Keeping these things in mind, I have focused my teaching on basically four things. These four things are: first is accuracy, second is speed, third is innovation, and fourth is analyzing power. Now, I'll explain each and everything one by one. Accuracy, I believe every student has. If I give a question and I give them that there is no time limitation in this, then accuracy everybody has. But accuracy may be an hindrance when the time is allotted to that particular child and they are told that you have to answer a particular question in, let us say, 5 seconds. Therefore, speed will become very important. And how we can enhance accuracy or speed? If we are innovative. Innovative means finding new ways, new techniques, new methods to answer a question. We can become very innovative if we start analyzing. When we will analyze a situation, we will automatically come to a new way of tackling a question. By doing so, we will enhance our accuracy as well as speed. I'm going to start with a very easy, very simple question, but this question might take a lot of time as compared to the question's ability. For example, my question is, which is the 18th letter of our alphabet? Now, anybody and everybody can answer this question, but what they will do is they will count 18 letters on their fingertips. By doing so, we consume a lot of time. My first task to my students is that remember all your letters with their numbers at random on your tips by heart. All 26 letters at random. For example, if somebody is going to ask me which is the 19th letter, I know it is S. Which is the letter number of F? It is 6. 12th letter L. 14th letter N. I remember all my letters with their numbers at random on my tips by heart. How we can remember this? Now there is a very simple and very easy way to remember it. If we concentrate only on four letters, that is E, J, O, T, where E is a letter number 5, J is 10, O is 15 and T is 20. Just four letters: E, J, O, T, 5, 10, 15, 20. By remembering these four letters with their numbers, we can remember all our letters with their numbers at random on our tips by heart. For example, the question was, which is the 18th letter from the left? Now we remember that T is 20, simply minus 2, R is 18. So the answer to the question was R. Maximum we will have to do plus minus 2 and we can come to a conclusion. For example, suppose we are able to remember all these four letters with their numbers, which is very easy. It is a table of 5, 5, 10, 15, 20, E, J, O, T. Suppose now somebody asks us, which is the ninth letter of our alphabet? We remember that J is 10, so I is 9. If somebody now asks us, which is the 16th letter, when O is 15, T will be 16. Suppose the question now is, which is the 22nd letter, when T is 20, U, V will be 22nd. Simply maximum plus minus 2 we will have to do and we can remember all our letters with their numbers at random on our tips. Now my second question is as easy or as simple as the previous one, but this might consume more time than even the first question, because my question now is, which is the 16th letter from the right? From the right, I simply imply from Z. That is, Z is our first letter, Y is our second letter, X is our third letter. By counting from the right, which is the 16th letter from the right. Now, many students will be able to answer this question very easily, but they will consume a lot of time. Since they will consume a lot of time, what they will have to do is they will write A, B, C, D to Z and then start counting from the right hand side. Z is 1, Y is second, X is third, and so on and so forth. But they will consume a lot of time by doing so. Now, there is a very simple formula to this. If we remember this formula, we can answer any letter from the right hand side as well. The formula is very simple. Any letter asked from the right hand side, subtract that number from 27. Total letters are 26, increase by 1. Subtract the number from 27. The letter that is remaining will be the letter from the left hand side, and from the left hand side we ought to remember through EJOT 5, 10, 15, 20. For example, the question was, which is the 16th letter from the right, subtract this number from 27. The remainder, which is 11th in this case, this 11th letter is from the left hand side. From the left hand side, when J is 10, K is 11 and K is the answer. Now we can take any other example now. Suppose I ask you now that which is the 23rd letter from the right hand side. Subtract this number from 27. The remainder, which is 4th in this case, will be from the left. When E is 5, D will be 4th. So now any letter from the right hand side also can be remembered using this very simple formula. Now coming to the real question, because the first two questions that I gave you, they don't come in the entrance exams, that which is the 18 letter from the left or 16 letter from the right. The real question will be on letters, but they will simply complicate the language. The language will be complicated, the question is not tough. The language might sound that what it is asking about, but the question is still very simple. Now the question that I am going to give you is from a question called coding decoding. Now coding decoding I'll explain. I've given you a word train and it is coded as GIZRM. There is a reason behind it, there is a logic behind it, and there is a method behind it. This reason, logic and method we need to understand, and then the question asks that how we will code central in a similar way. The logic which is applicable on train, the same logic we have to apply on central and give the answer. Now this question is basically very easy, and if you might have concentrated on my first two questions, this can become very easy but very time consuming again. How it can be very time consuming? First of all, the student will analyze that why for T G is written, why for R I is written, why for A Z is written. Although if you will concentrate, you can come to the logic. The logic is very simple, very easy, and that I'm going to explain. If you analyze, I taught you two things. Remember all your letters with their numbers through EJOT, that is 5, 10, 15 and 20. This was remembering all our letters with their numbers from the left hand side. This was the first thing. The second thing that I taught was remembering all our letters with their numbers from the right hand side. For that I gave you a formula that any letter asked from the right hand side, subtract that number from 27, the remainder will be the position from the left hand side. These are the two things that I have taught you right now. Now if you analyze on these two things, train was coded as GIZRM. If you analyze, T is our letter number 20 from the left hand side, G is our letter number 20 from the right hand side, R is our letter number 18 from the left hand side, and I is 18 from the right hand side. And these are the only two things that I have taught you right now. Therefore, to answer for the question central, now if you use this logic that C is third letter from the left, so third letter from the right, we can answer. But we will consume a lot of time by doing so. If we are consuming a lot of time by doing so, there might be a very good method to solve it. That very good method can easily be solved if we write ABCD to Z in one single line and reverse order just beneath it. This is a very important formation that I'm going to tell you, and using this formation many questions can be very easily solved. The question that I gave you in coding decoding can also be very easily solved if we have this formation written with us, and the time consumption will reduce drastically. For example, let us again analyze the question. Question was, if train is coded as GIZRM, how will you code central in a similar way? Now, if you check this formation, for T, G is making a pair, for R, I is making a pair. Now we can do the same thing now. For C, X is making a pair. For E, V is making a pair. For N, M is making a pair, and so on and so forth. Even by doing so, this was my second method of solving this question, but even by doing so, I still believe we are consuming a lot of time. We are consuming a lot of time because we are looking into our alphabet and therefore copying from it. This I mean to tell you is that we are cheating. Whenever we are cheating, we consume a lot of time. Now I will explain my real method and tell you how to solve it in seconds. By seconds, I really mean 5 seconds. For example, the question was, how will you, if train is coded as GIZRM, how will you code central in a similar way? The third thing that I'll be teaching you is remember all your 26 letters or pairs at random on your tips. I had written in the previous page 26 letters and then in the reverse order so that T was making a pair with G, R with I, A with Z. Remember all these 26 pairs at random on your tips as I remember. If somebody asks me which letter makes a pair with L, I know it is O. With F, it is U. With K, it is P. I remember all my letters with their numbers. So as soon as this question comes in front of me, since I remember all my pairs, I will be very easily able to give answers in second. Answer is X, V, M, G, I, Z, O. Since I remember all my pairs, I'm not looking at my pairs, I'm simply able to give the answer because I remember all my pairs. How to remember these pairs? Now there is a formula to it, there is a method to it, there is a trick to it. The trick is very simple. Any two letters added up to 27, they will form a pair. For example, let us take at any number at random. Suppose I want to find out that which letter makes a pair with letter K. Now K is a letter number 11. E, J, O, T, when J is 10, K will be 11. Which number we should add to 11 to make it 27? That is 16. E, J, O, T, when O is 15, P is 16. K will make a pair with letter P. Now if you check any of these pairs, T and G are making a pair. T is a letter number 20, G is 7, total is 27. R is 18, I is 9, total is 27. A is 1, Z is 26, total is 27. So any two letters added up to 27, they will form a pair.